because the care for an employee makes a big impact at home. And a healthy employee at home is going to be healthy in the office or the workplace.
I'm your host, Taylor Ann Carpenter, and welcome to The Talk Chamber, a production of the Greater Memphis Chamber. The Talk Chamber is the podcast for the latest on the Chamber, economic development, and all things Memphis. Today's episode features Rob Recker, our very own president of Chamber Benefits, Inc. Rob, thanks so much for coming on.
Well, good morning, Taylor. Thank you for having me. It's a privilege to be with you this morning.
Let's just start off and tell us about yourself. How'd you end up at the Chamber? How'd you end up in Memphis?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. So I've been in the chamber world for 37 years. I've worked at Metro Chambers around the country. And one day I got a call from a headhunter about the Memphis Chamber. This was back in 2018, an opening for a senior vice president position for membership and growth. And so I applied for the position, and apparently everybody liked me, and that's how I ended up here in Memphis.
Now, am I correct to say that you have been at chambers all over the country at this point in your career?
Yes, from Florida to Ohio to Wisconsin to Alabama. And I've also represented the United States as vice chairman for the World Chamber Federation in Paris.
Oh, wow. So you have literally been all over the world as a chamber person,
yes,
as a chamber representative. So if you need an expert on chamber, I would say you're probably the person to go to.
Well, I can tell you what works, and I can tell you definitely what doesn't work.
You know, let's talk about what works at the chamber, or at our chamber specifically. So your role is president of Chamber Benefits, Inc. So tell us, what is Chamber Benefits, Inc.?
Chamber Benefits, Inc. is a wholly owned subsidiary of the Greater Memphis Chamber. So we are a for-profit entity for the organization. So we have a board of 5 business leaders made up of middle market, small business, and large organizations. And in concert with them, we look at opportunities to provide our members savings on business essential services and products.
What would you say the goal or the purpose, the full goal or purpose of Chamber Benefits, Inc. is?
So our mission, what we do every day when we wake up, we work on behalf of our members. So we know a lot of our small business members don't have the buying power, say, of our large corporations. So we harness that buying power of all of our small business and middle market companies to negotiate the best rates on like our health insurance program, our office supply program, and some other ancillary benefits that we do on their behalf.
Right. So, Rob, I would have to say that your experience and, like you said, knowing what works and what doesn't work has made you primed for this role and for this position, because our benefits, you've seen what works and what doesn't work through other chambers. And, you know, we want to provide the best benefits and opportunities for our members. And so you have to have somebody in that position who really knows.
Thank you, Taylor Ann. And I really appreciate the opportunity to be here at the Memphis Chamber. Our president and CEO, Ted Townsend, he sees the value of offering those member benefits to our members, because we know as an organization, when we can save our members money, they reinvest those savings back into their business, whether it's hiring another person, buying new equipment, or expanding to another location within Greater Memphis.
And that right there, that helps boost our economy, which helps make what we say a Greater Memphis.
That's right.
So let's then take a deep dive into the benefits that we offer. Can you first just start by giving us a quick overview, bullet points of what we offer, and then we can kind of break it down?
Absolutely. So we really focus on the benefits that are really going to be impactful for all of our member companies. And those benefits really focus around the most expensive asset any company has, and that's their employees or their talent. Because you have to have healthy and productive workers to grow your business. So we really focus on health care of those employees as well as safety in the workplace that are our primary drivers of our benefits.
We have office savings. Could you tell us about that program a little bit?
Yes. So we've had a program with Office Depot for the past couple of years, and starting in January, we'll be switching to Staples. And we're very excited about this new partnership with Staples because they do some really incredible things on cost savings that our member companies might not be aware of. So Staples really dives deep on savings for members of the chamber. They actually scrape their competitors' websites to find the pricing that's available, and they'll either match it or beat it on any given day. And they also have some unique benefits. Like here in Memphis, they have a distribution center. So our members are going to be able to get those products same day or next day.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. What kind of office products? Is it just like pens, paper, that kind of stuff, or is there other things?
It spans the whole gamut. So whether it's the office supplies you just described, furniture, technology, hardware, software, all those type of components are available through Staples.
Oh, wow. So I could buy a new desk or a new chair or a monitor if I needed.
Yes.
That is awesome. Moving on to one of our other benefits, our workers' compensation. What is that, and how do our members take advantage of that benefit?
We have an incredible program with Accident Fund. Accident Fund only does one thing, and that's workers' comp insurance. They are an A-rated company by AM Best, which means they are on solid footing financially. And the Chamber Benefits Board and I really vet our product partners extensively to make sure that our members are getting the best partners in the industry. One of the great savings in the Accident Fund Workers' Comp program is the 5% dividend on the premium. So if the losses are less than expected, our members are going to save 5% on their premium at the end of the year. So they're going to get that back, that 5% back in the form of a check.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's a tremendous savings on someone's workers' comp insurance premiums. What we like about Accident Fund is twofold. Number one, they are an industry leader when it comes to providing safety protocols for your employees to make sure you have a very safe, effective workplace where your employees can mitigate any potential risk. And they do this by a number of different ways. They work with your team in your business to put in safety protocols. Then they also use AI technology. So for example, if you have a trucking company and your drivers or your employees are loading and unloading trucks all the time, you can take a video of those employees doing those activities and send it into Accident Fund. Accident Fund will layer the proper techniques on how to load and unload pallets, boxes, things like that. So you can see how your employees are doing it. And if they're doing it correctly, have them doing that. But if they're doing things incorrectly, you can change the way they're doing that activity that will also reduce the risk of injury.
That is so cool that they have that technology and that's an offer for our members who use our workers' compensation through Accident Fund to take that and be able to help their employees. I mean, nobody wants to, be hurt from a personal perspective, but business owners, they don't want their employees hurt. They need their employees.
Exactly. And that translates into our newest offering that also supports our workers' comp program. And that's a new company that I'm very bullish on, and that's Ready Rebound. So Ready Rebound is a company that focuses on workers' comp injuries. And what makes them unique is they can get the employee back to work faster, on average 33% faster than a traditional workers' comp company. So for example, if there's an injury in the workplace, Ready Rebound has a concierge team. So as soon as that claim has been filed, the next call is to Ready Rebound, and Ready Rebound's concierge team will get the doctor's appointment set up, whether it's a specialist that's needed, going through your primary care physician first, or going through an orthopedic company, clinic for that next step, or a rehab company. So they will manage the claim all the way through to make sure you're getting that care quickly instead of the elongated process where it can take up to 9, 10, 12 months. Because what happens in a traditional environment is somebody gets injured, they file the claim, they have to wait for the claim to be handled, and then the first activity is usually go into rehab, and then you do 6 weeks of rehab, you're still not better, then you have to wait for that referral to the specialist, and then you get in to see the specialist, they do the procedure, and then you do more rehab. So you're out a much longer period of time. With Ready Rebound, that time is condensed dramatically. So your most important assets are getting back to work quicker, but more importantly, they're healthier.
That is incredible that they are able to streamline that process for employees who need to go see the doctor for whatever their injury is. And like you said, it keeps those employees healthy, which brings me kind of to our next benefit that I really want to focus on is our health care, our health insurance.
Yes, we have a great partner in Cigna. We have a level funded and a fully insured program for businesses with 25 or more employees. And the level funded product is great because it provides cost certainty for our member companies. So you're going to be paying the same premium month after month. So you know exactly what your costs are. And if your healthcare expenditures are less than anticipated, you're going to get a refund or a rebate at the end of the year. And likewise, if your healthcare costs go over what is anticipated, you're not going to pay more in premium because you're protected by the stopgap coverage that kicks in once that happens. So it's a great product. The Cigna Care team is phenomenal, working with our member broker companies that sell the program for us. So if you are interested in the Cigna health insurance program, you can contact your broker that you use, or you can go to the Chamber website and we have a list of our Chamber member brokers that are partnering with us on this program.
So for our listeners, people who are interested in this, the next step would be to go to our website and contact one of the brokers, or if they already have a broker, get in touch with their broker so that they can get this benefit.
Exactly. And when you talk to your broker, make sure you identify yourself as a Chamber member so you'll get this special 2% discount on top of the premium coverage that you'll receive from Cigna. And this is very important because we're the only chamber in the market that offers this 2% discount. You can't get it anywhere else. And some people say, gosh, Rob, 2%, that doesn't sound like a lot of money. Well, we had a member company join just for our health insurance program with Cigna, and we saved them $37,000.
$37,000 that can go a long way. You can do a lot with that.
Exactly. And that's a significant amount of money. So that's why this partnership is so unique for our chamber members. They get the discount, they get exceptional care from Cigna, and they also have outstanding customer service.
That's awesome. And so for our listeners, if their health care is not up, or maybe this is their first time to start kind of thinking about getting a health insurance plan for their business, how soon do they need to get that done?
Well, if they don't have health insurance, they can do that at any point in time. Right now, we're in the big renewal season. The third quarter and the fourth quarter of the year are the two biggest renewal quarters of the health insurance or health coverage year. So right now, you're probably making your decisions or finalizing those decisions. And if you're switching carriers to Cigna, I can't emphasize this enough. Ask your broker to make sure you're getting that 2% savings, because sometimes it doesn't happen because the broker might not be aware that you're a member of the chamber when they're getting those quotes from Cigna.
Right. So make sure you ask for that 2% discount if you're a chamber member. And then additionally, if you are looking right now, now's the time. But if you're looking in the future, maybe come January, it's still available.
Exactly. And we're hopeful for our members that have less than 24 employees that we'll have a program in place at the start of the year. The health insurance landscape is very fluid. It's always changing, and we're seeing that at the federal level with possible elimination of the subsidies for the Affordable Care Act marketplace. So it's a very fluid environment, and that 2 to 24 space is also kind of in flux right now. So we're looking at a lot of different options for our member companies. We're looking at some ICHRA plans where a business owner can provide a stipend or a monthly payment for their employees, and they can go out and choose a plan that best fits their needs. Those are starting to become very popular around the country right now. We're also looking at some captive options for our members, which has some really interesting benefits, such as predetermined pricing, different types of pharmacy benefit plans that really reduce the costs. So those are really unique, and those have really caught on around the country, and they're starting to really become more prevalent here in the South, but they really haven't taken off yet. And then we're also looking at some traditional plans and some level funded plans down to that 2 to 24, 1 to 24 space.
Awesome. So we are working towards having something for our smaller businesses, but we already have stuff for our mid-size and larger businesses.
Correct. And we did have a 2 to 24 plan, but as the landscape changed, that plan went away. So like I said, there's a lot of moving parts, and I'm confident that we'll have something ready at the start of the year. And for our members going forward, know that we're going to put the best product on the table for you.
Right. And just to echo what you said, we choose the best products and the best partners for our members because we want to give them the best, and we don't want to, cut corners or provide something that's not useful and beneficial to them.
Exactly. And like when we have a product that we endorse, we're actually card-carrying members of that product as well. So,
right.
We have Cigna Health Care at our office, and I've used it a couple of times this year, and I think it's a great product.
Yes, I agree. And keeping in that same vein of health and health care, we recently launched Chamber Care. What is Chamber Care?
Chamber Care is just a game-changing health coverage for our member businesses. It's not a health plan. It's a subscription-based primary care coverage. So this actually sits in front of the health plan at a business. So for $40 a month per employee and all their dependents, the employee and their dependents have access to a primary care physician that takes care of all the primary care needs for an individual. So 90% of all healthcare needs are taken care of by the primary care physician.
Really?
So we know that if we can get our employees and our member companies' employees using the health centers, they're going to become healthier and more productive. Because a lot of times with those super high deductible plans, employees are not going to the doctor unless they get really sick, and then they end up going to the ER room, which drives up the cost of the health plan. So we have found through our extensive research that by providing primary care service at a very affordable rate, employees are going to go to the doctor sooner. They're going to go to the doctor when they're feeling like, hey, I might have a strep throat or COVID or a bad case of the flu. They're going to go get that care they need. And they're going to get nursed back to health. So at our health centers, and the first one opened up at the YMC Fogelman Y downtown on Jefferson Avenue, our members can go to that YMCA Health Center location, and for $40 per month, they get access to that primary care physician and the care team. They can get their prescriptions filled there. Now, we have the most common prescriptions available. They can get their annual physicals. They can get their shots. They can get everything done that they normally would at a primary care office.
That is awesome. It's very interesting. I mean, the things that happen, the willingness of people to go to the doctor when that cost barrier is reduced, really, like you said, will create a healthier and more productive employee. And so I think that's a really cool offer. Have we had anybody taking advantage of that?
Yes, we have members that are taking advantage of the program, and they love it. And what they love about it is not only that cost, and that $40 a month can be shared three different ways. The employer can pay that $40. The employer can split that $40 per month with the employee, or they can have the employee pay that $40. So there's a lot of flexibility for that $40 a month. What the employees love about it is there's same day and next day appointments, and there's walk-in appointments. So the care team holds back a certain number of slots for walk-in appointments. So that access is important. So like when I go see my primary care physician before I start going to our health center, if my appointment was at 9:15, I'm there at 8:45 doing the paperwork. but I don't see the doctor till almost 10 o'clock because that business model is primary care office traditionally has to see 50 to 60 patients a day for them to be able to run their enterprise. But with our primary care health centers, chamber care, we don't have that model. Our model is subscription-based. So the care is put onto the patient, not the care of the business.
Wow.
So we want to take our time and make sure the patient is getting all the care they need. So for example, that first discovery visit, so when a company signs up with chamber care, all the employees will go through a discovery visit where the doctor will spend 45 to 50 minutes talking about the employee's healthcare needs, talking about their history, and really doing a deep dive. It's not just, okay, let me just ask you a few questions and you're going to be on your way. And then if they discover something, oh, well, here's a pill, come back and see me 6 months. That's not the way the chamber care health centers operate. It's really hands-on. The care team wants to get to know that employee, the patient of the health center. So they're going to go that extra mile to really understand some of their lifestyle choices, right, that they're currently making because they're stressed. Maybe they're not exercising enough. Maybe their diet's not really been the best for them, and they're just sluggish, and these reoccurring medical conditions keep popping up. Or maybe they have diabetes and they haven't been educated on the importance of nutrition and exercise to take care of those chronic diseases. So our care team is really going to zero in on those things to make sure that that employee is getting the highest standard of care to address all those health challenges. And then what they'll do is, it's not just, I want to see you once a year. We're going to continue on this journey throughout the year because we want to see you making progress, right? Because a lot of times we see a care provider, we take our medicine and we go back to our daily lives. And sometimes things change, sometimes they don't. So we really want to emphasize that this is all about a long-term journey because the care for an employee makes a big impact at home. Mm-hmm. And a healthy employee at home is going to be healthy in the office or the workplace because they don't have those stresses of being unhealthy. And likewise, if their family is healthy, they're not going to bring those stresses of an unhealthy family into the workplace where they might not be as productive.
That's awesome. And that it just sounds like chamber care is intentional care for the people that are visiting the centers. And it feels personal and personalized.
It is. I mean, each patient is a person.
Right.
The care team is going to treat them as individuals.
Yep. That's awesome. And I'll say this. I know some of our colleagues have ran down to the chamber care centers, and every time they come back, I hear nothing but great reviews because you said wait times are practically nothing, and they're getting personalized attention and care that'll help them feel healthy quicker.
It is an amazing program. I've used it myself. I had received my annual sinus infection.
Right.
I only get those when I lived here in Memphis. And I was able to get in same day, did all the testing, the diagnosis, and was able to pick up my medicine right there. And I was on my way. And it sped up my recovery time dramatically because I was able to knock it out early and get the care I needed. And they followed up with me to see how I was feeling after a few days. So I can't say enough great things about our partner, We Care TLC, who we're partnering with on this health center along with the YMCA of Memphis in the Mid-South.
Yep, 100%. And I just kind of want to circle back and kind of go back to that overarching view of all of our benefits. Why are our benefits important?
Yeah, for twofold. Number one, for the employer, it's about talent attraction and retention. Because if you're not offering benefits for your employees, it might be easy for them to go, gosh, ABC company is offering, health plans, 401k plans, and all these other ancillary benefits that, are really attractive to me. So we want our member companies to be competitive in the marketplace when it comes to employee benefits. Number two, it's all about keeping the workforce healthy and productive, because that's what drives the economy, as you stated earlier.
100%.
Right? So that's really our mission for developing these programs for our member companies.
A healthier workforce, a healthier economy.
Right.
100%. And so just can you reiterate for us, how can people take advantage of these benefits?
Two ways. Number one, they can go to our website. Now, a couple of these programs are not on the website just yet. Ready Rebound will be on the website shortly, and Staples will be on our website in January.
Okay.
So we're still working through some of those nuances on how the website's going to work and the landing pages and all those things, but those will be there eventually. But our workers' comp program is on. We have a specific landing page on the memphischamber.com website for our programs. So you'll see the landing page for the workers' comp program and for our chamber care health centers and also for our Cigna insurance. Or if you want to talk to me directly, you can ping me or give me a call, and I'll be happy to spend time with you and walk you through all the different products and programs and services that we offer to save you money.
Rob, thank you so much for coming on the Talk Chamber today.
Oh, thank you so much, Taylor Ann. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Talk Chamber. We are so glad you're here. As Rob told us, the Greater Memphis Chamber values its members and only wants the best for them. That's why we have Chamber Benefits, Inc., where we look for the best partners and the best benefits to offer our members. If you enjoyed this episode or learned a valuable piece of information, share it with a friend, or maybe even a colleague. Subscribe to the Talk Chamber to keep up with the latest on the Chamber, economic development, and all things Memphis. Follow us on social media at Memphis Chamber, and we'll see you next time.